y'all, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. Divine white light of the highest consciousness, what do you have for the collective at this time? The cards are all upright and in order by way of major arcana and through each element. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscriptions, all of that. Thank you so much. What do you have for the collective at this time, Holy Spirit? So collective and class action came up again. I say again because that came up in the reading yesterday, the energy. Like a class action, like a coming together to go against someone, something, corporation, an individual. So class action. So I feel like maybe there's been a gathering, a group of individuals coming together against one person possibly. Because that was the energy yesterday as well when that came up. What else, Spirit? What else do you have? I heard organic. So it feels like it was supposed to be derived in this order, in this way, whatever is. Okay, so I heard what's about to be exposed. What else, Spirit? Thank you for that. So impending charges. So something's kind of been going on for some time. I feel like there's a stacking up, a order of things right at this point. So I'm hearing there it has to be declared. All right. So basically there's a final impending something that's about to take place by way of something being exposed. But there's definitely some sort of order here to where it's like a buildup. Something's been granted, I'm hearing. So I'm feeling like if there was like a order in the court, by way of spiritual court even, it's just now trickling down to the 3D possibly. They may have been sentenced in spiritual court, but in the physical is where the repercussions are going to reside, is what I'm understanding. All right, y'all. Thank you for that, Spirit. Anything else? Something about judgment. The word judgment, I was being led to feel like the judgment card possibly would show itself in the spread today. But what else, Spirit? This could have to do with a tarot card reader. I don't know. I just saw a specific reader in my mind's eye, so I said, well, if it's not even them, then possibly it's just a representation of someone who actually reads tarot. All right, here we go, y'all. Okay, there's two cards there, I think, as they come out. All right, I see two queens out here, so I don't know what that means just yet. All right, y'all, is that it for today? Like, I'm not going to sit here and hustle the cards, so that might be it. Let's go. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords is here. So, Spirit, tell me about this 6 of Swords, please. I'm hearing natural charges, and then I heard disaster, like a natural disaster. What else, Spirit? What else is going on? The state of New York is coming up because I'm just kind of seeing like an island, with buildings surrounded by water. So I would say specifically Manhattan, possibly. Tell me more, Spirit. I heard big, big case. Big, big, big case. Okay, so there is some sort of excitement looming around this, whatever it is. Something about history. There's been a history here. History of what, Spirit? So for some reason I'm being shown, well, I was given political energy, but then Trump popped up and then I was shown like, I guess that would be the Trump Towers, because the word Trump spelled out in gold, like big, bold, lettering in front of the building. So that's the Trump Towers, I believe. I'm hearing man-made, destructive, or destruction. Tower of Bezel. I don't know a lot about that, you guys. Tower of Bezel. So history, the word history did come up. So possibly that's the connection here. Maybe something it feels like a, what would you call that? Like if it happened before in those times, it happened in this time as well. But, the characters are different. Physically, it looks different, but it's like the same energy. So if there's a connection with the Tower of Babel and then Trump Towers, or the history of Babel, and then, kind of looking at the history of possibly, I won't specifically call out Trump himself because Trump seems like a movement at this point. It's political, it's also social, it's got some laws, some unwritten laws also. I'm hearing as quiet as kept. All right, y'all. So I'm being drawn back to the borough of Manhattan. So yeah, you guys, I guess, if I could, I would definitely right now, if this were just me, I would definitely go to Google and reference, a quick short history lesson on the Tower of Babel and connect the dots. But right now, Spirit is my Google, so that's who I trust. So we're just going to keep going with it. Yeah, so that all came from this Six of Swords. But the Six of Swords, I'm hearing commemorative. That sounds like something that has to do with history. So the Six of Swords, I was going to say, like the generic energy behind this has to do with someone wanting to get away or get out of a situation mentally. They just want to disappear. And it's like they're calling on help to be able to do so, and help arrived, and help hurry up and got them out of the way before, this is giving me before paparazzi shows up. For some reason, before the cameras, before the news exposure, before whatever this is. As if I'm being shown that this would be Trump here in the cloaked energy. That would be Trump, and then the supporters or whoever is riding with them, or whoever they could be working for, whoever Trump is working for. Let's call it that. Is expediting them out of the way. So that could be mentally, physically. And I don't want to put this all on Trump. Definitely don't want to turn this into a political or a Trump reading. But like I said, Trump, it feels like a movement right now. Like, forget the person. Of course, the person was the inspiration for bringing out a lot of things that were lying dormant. So if we're talking about dormant energies that are rising up, and I was told to say again, then that's what we're looking at here, is what I feel like. And, it may not have anything to do with Trump. It could just be that Tower of Babel, those energies around that time of whatever that history lesson is about, and the connection here with what's on the table, what's happening now or about to happen, or whatever this is. Anyway, y'all, let's get into the cards. There's not very many out here. Again, I didn't want to hustle the cards, but this is what we got. Now, I know this Eight of Pentacles flipped over in the deck and I pulled it out, but there is another card behind there. But let's talk about the Eight of Pentacles. So this is definitely steady, focused, hard at work. Somebody's determined to make something happen. Of course, it's connected to finances, because that's what's driving them. That's the driving factor here, is the money. It's about control of the money. I'm hearing influence. Okay, so a public figure, and we'll use Trump as an example because that's been basically his whole, his lifespan has been about wealth and maintaining it, and all of that stuff. He just stands for money if you think about it, right? I mean, I don't think that's a secret. And I feel like he would be very proud to say, you and tell you about all of his accomplishments when it comes to his businesses, even though others would say they were failed businesses, but they were still businesses. You see the Trump Tower and you equate that with, oh, money, right? You just Trump, not even the person really, it's the name. So what I was getting here, you guys, is like, that's just a puppet. That's just like a front runner. Of course, they had to talk about money, 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 because that's the social characteristics of it. So that the Tower of Babel is coming back up again, you guys. So at this point, not knowing much about Tower of Babel, I would say that there has to be some heavy financial ties there. I would say that would be a foundation here. Now, what that has to do with you and I, we'll get into it. I'm sure that will make itself known here in a bit. Okay, so just when I asked that, I'm being drawn back to the Eight of Pentacles because it feels like it's been like a driver, like a driving force to the collective, to society, to your neighbors, your friends, your family, that this is how this is supposed to be done. In order to acquire wealth or influence or whatever that is, influence just came up again. In order to acquire certain things, it has to be rooted in money. But I feel like what this is saying to us is that's been a false narrative all this time. You and I, collective as divine ones, we realize this, but I feel like for the most part, just the influence of these puppets, these social characters coming in, specifically Trump, the energy is there. I feel like that's just a character. It's just a front person. It's somebody who comes along who stirs up those lying dormant energies that kind of rise up from the sand, the dust, the dirt. And, these are like unhealed energies. And they take possession of the followers of who would be Trump or who else. I don't want to make this political, and I definitely don't want to single out anyone like Trump, but I feel like that's just a specific example right now. Because if you look at his history, number one, again, he's been all about monies and incorporations of and getting wealth, maintaining it. And then also there's some disturbing energies that go along with this sort of cult following. Like these social uprising of energies that seem to be kind of negative. Not even seem to be, but they're very like one directional energies. But again, the Tower of Babel, whatever happened then, I feel like is what has taken possession over to where we are right now. And I feel like right now, not knowing a lot about Babel would have to do with finances. And then I'm hearing the suffrage of what we're going through now. Well, it's not you and I, collective. I feel like it's those, because what I'm being shown is people being pulled away from money. People and they're fighting, trying to keep and hold on and maintain to what their fathers were taught about this principle, foundation of money, control, ownership, possession, get what you can get, all of that. They're being pulled away from that and they don't like it. So possibly that's what's causing a next generation or a next cycle of an uproar here to come against something that's organically happening. That organic pulling away of that attachment to old principles and money, Tower of Babel energy, whatever that is, I'm assuming that's what we're talking about here. Those energies have risen up in like the followers, but those are those energies now being pulled away. My. Ooh, you never know what you're going to get over here. All right. Eight of Pentacles. Let's see what's behind this. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. So working so hard to maintain, control, keep focus, I'm hearing family first. This feels like a lot of like principles that are driven under the red, white, and blue flag of the United States. Yes. A lot of those conquer, ask questions last, shoot first, ask questions last sort of energy, get what you can get. But then you see the Three of Cups reversed right behind that because they have no life because of what they put their focus into. This is all about the social influence of maintaining wealth and what you need to do to get it. I feel like a lot of that is strongly, heavily based here in the United States. Because there's a balance here, but it's an awkward balance because it's like they get to hold on to what they get, but then on the other side of the scale, it's like you have a lot of lack. So in a certain sense, it's balanced, but not really, if you understand where this is going. It's not balanced, but it kind of is. But this is the issue. Three of Cups reverse. I'm hearing dark days. Okay, so I heard dark days among us. So us could just reference the U.S. U.S. of A, right? But this all has to do with principles. Okay, so a Tower of Babel eventually fell, right? Like that would be the idea of it being a tower, like tower card energy in tarot even. Like it has to fall. So the Tower of Babel reference, I can't wait to really read what this is about in reference to the Tower of Babel. Even though I'm pulling the energies, but the confirmation is going to be everything for me when I see it written down. All right, y'all. Okay, so I have two queens over here to the right. Let me scoot these up just in case you can't see them. But let's jump into see who's here. So I have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Sad songs ain't so much. Who sings that? I haven't heard that since I was a kid, but I just heard it out of, when with the Queen of Cups reverse. Is that Elton John? And I don't know anything else about the song. That's it. But that has to be from the 80s, right? Okay, Spirit, why did I get a glimmer of that? Okay, so there is a, excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, this is what is needed to come out. There's a specific sector group of individuals, people who are going through some deep sadness right now. And it feels like it's only falling on one specific group, race of individuals. Y'all, my job. Spirit, what is this? I know what you're specifically pointing out to me, but I definitely don't want to call out anybody. I don't want to, but if that's what it is, then show me, please show me, tell me more. Queen of Cups reverse, y'all. I'm hearing the word organic again. All right, so that helps. Okay, so I was given the term Karen. So I feel like I'm free from the obligation of having to specifically call out anything, anyone, but I was given Karen just now. So if we'll say whoever the Karens are in the world, this is who was in this Queen of Cups reverse energy. That was perfect, Spirit. Thank you. I don't even use the term Karens because I just believe that's like demonic possession. So it can jump off in anyone, but it happens to rule over specific types. That's all. And that's where that was going. But I was like, I don't know if I want to touch that. Because I didn't want to turn it into to that sort of thing. I don't mind going to the political line and kind of dancing around it. But when race is involved, I can't dance around that because I know the impact and the afflictions that come along with that. And I don't even want to touch that. Because, at the end of the day, I feel like we've all, well, maybe not all of us, but for the most part, as divine ones, we don't hold room for insecurities, racism. We don't hold that sort of room for energies like that. And if they do come across our desk or try to, influence us in any way, it's not something that we harbor or we take on and have to deal with and heal from and all that kind of stuff, unless you've already healed from it. But I don't feel like it's like a reoccurring sort of thing. So I just don't like to touch that sort of energy because I feel like we've all pretty much dealt with different sort of influences lifetimes before. You could have been a man, you could have been a woman, you could have been black, you could have been white, red, green, whatever. So that's why I don't really specifically look at race as anything that matters, because I feel like people who do struggle with racism have demonic attachments. Because that stirring up of energies that lie dormant, you see how demonic influence particularly possess certain sectors. See, that's what was coming from this Queen of Cups, and I didn't want to mention it. But if you think about it, it's like, well, why does this particular thing only influence this sector of people? And that sector could involve, their geographic location, their own race, their background, their influences, but it just inhabits certain groups of people. And I feel like that's what's lying here on the table, what we're kind of dealing with now. Okay, let's get back to the Karen. So the Karens of the world are very sadly, I'm hearing deep-rooted. They're very sadly depressed right now. I was given the word Karen, so I'm going with it. But we're talking about the social influence of Karens. All right, okay, so tell me more, Spirit, about the Queen of Cups reverse as I guess, reveal the other cards. All right, so I'm just being shown like the Karens who act out. If you flip through social media, you see they're in the wild, Karens in the wild. But this has to do with, I'm being shown somebody in a supermarket with a grocery cart and they're lashing out at people. Somebody's recording, because that's how you and I are able to see and, say, oh, that's a Karen. Everybody's judging them as a Karen. So maybe this means that there's going to be more of, okay, so I heard super influence. There's going to be more outburst coming up here, because I'm feeling like, this Karen energy by way of a Queen of Cups reverse, they don't really have anywhere to go to turn to, because I feel like they're coming from a place to where they felt like they've been, abandoned somewhere down the line, and it could be their whole life, but maybe as a child, even abandonment issues. So therefore, they kind of turned it into receiving and acquiring attention no matter how they get it. But I'm hearing super, the word super, like supersede just came up. I'm hearing advanced. So I feel like this is Karens are about to turn up a little bit more here. So maybe there's like a Karen 2.0, or maybe there's going to be a new name for Karens because of the outroar. I'm hearing disturbance. That's about to take place. This Tower of Babel energy, there's some sort of connection to that as well. So if we're talking about finances, possibly these Karens are losing. They're the ones being pulled away from this money energy of whoever was providing for them is now going through their suffering. They're losing things. They're basically, trying to cope for themselves of how they're going to maintain this USA pride energy of taking care of family, what they learned from their fathers, forefathers. They're the ones kind of struggling, they are struggling right now, because all they knew was this foundation of the control, the capture, the take, get what you can get energy. But that's what's being, I'm hearing repelled. That's what's being loosed here. So I feel like the Queen of Cups reverse energies are the ones who've been benefiting off of this energy, this control energy, naturally, right? And I only say naturally because, you know, you look at a Karen as someone is, well, they're coined as Karen because they are inciting some sort of privilege out in the wild. Like they feel like they deserve something and they make a spectacle of it and themselves to where they're recorded and shared for millions to view them. So at the same time, they could say something really, really outlandish, racist. They could say anything to be coined a Karen, but it's really their attitude that's behind everything that's making them act out the way that they do. But this is who I'm hearing is going to kind of turn up on everybody. Because behind closed doors, they're suffering because of whoever was in charge of providing said privileges for them is now struggling of where they're going to or how they're going to maintain these hard work efforts that they've put into certain things with this Eight of Pentacles here, Three of Cups reverse. That's the struggle. There's a lot of stress at home. We'll say that. So now I feel like in the wild, that's where the turn up Karen 2.0 is going to be derived from. Because there is an actual pulling away of these old principles of what they've been able to maintain, achieve and maintain and keep and hold on to. But it's imbalanced. All right, so behind the Queen of Cups reverse, we have the Seven of Cups reverse. There we go. I told y'all. There's the turn up. Seven of Cups reverse has to do with instability, mental instability, to where this person possibly just needs to be committed. There could be talks of like they can't handle, they can't deal, they can't understand what's happening, and there's no sort of comprehension. Like you can't reason with someone like this because they're in their head, they're in their emotions. But I said they already struggle with some sort of abandonment issues from childhood to where they have to go in and try to get attention any way that they can as an adult, because all it is an adult temper tantrum. That's all it is. A Karen. Yeah, that's what it is. Behind the Seven of Cups reverse, we have the Ten of Wands. So by them screaming out and making a spectacle of themselves, they're looking for some sort of reward here. But the Ten of Wands means that they've been getting away with this for too long, to where the Ten of Wands is like, no, there's going to be a stop put to this. Because, you know, if we think about the birth of a Karen, they've experienced a lack of attention, but they found reward in acting out. And then when they found their mate, someone who can say, well, we're part of the American dream. I'm just saying that for reference because it's basically built on a lot of false, bad intentions, a lot of it. But the Karen came along and attached themselves to that energy, that principle, and it made them stronger in their privilege. To where as adults, they go in and demand said privileges. But with the Seven of Cups being here in the reverse, meaning it was already here, but now it's in the reverse, it means it's intensified now. Like they're really off of their rocker now because of the stress going on at home, because they're being pulled away now. It's like a kid screaming, crying, like, no, don't take that from me, you know, or don't, you know, that's what's happening here. Tower of Babel energy is coming up again. So that Ten of Wands lets me know no matter how much they kick and scream as an adult, this is still going to happen because the Ten of Wands is the reverse. So there's no completion of this energy of being a grown-ass adult, but there's a little kid inside who's hurt. But again, that little kid was based on false principles or raised on false principles. Their parents raised on false principles. So this definitely had to eventually fall, crumble, come down as a tower energy. All right, y'all, we have the Queen of Swords over here. Let's see what's going on with the Queen of Swords. Spirit, tell me more about this Queen of Swords energy. I'm hearing native, the natives. So the Queen of Swords, if this is standing in a native sort of principle, a native would mean somebody who's been there, somebody who was there before it all began, right? So that would be like, okay, so I'm hearing off the backs of. Y'all, we were already tiptoeing around this energy. Well, at least I was, but I'm sure y'all are with me. So I'm hearing the natives have spoken. That would be a Queen of Swords energy, right? Like once that word is spoken, it's done. We're talking about swords here. Like this is somebody ready, willing, and equipped to battle. I don't know if it's necessarily a physical battle. Like I'm not feeling like people are going to start throwing hands with Karen, or either Karen's, I hope she don't lose her mind and start throwing hands. But I feel like whoever, you know, the energy of the natives and the Queen of Swords, like the plan is already done. There's nothing else to do but just to sit and wait and watch whatever's about to occur here. And this could be unfolding all across the nation. But I feel like this has a lot to do with principles, like old world principles, with these rehashing of demonic influences kind of stirring up that were lying dormant to possess a following of a specific lifestyle energy. I'm hearing recourse. All right, y'all, this was a lot. I'm excited to go read about the Tower of Babel because never before have I. So the fact that it came up, it definitely is inspiring me to want to learn about that. Let's see what else is here. So behind the Six of Swords is the Four of Cups. So this is kind of looking outside of the box energy, or understanding that this has to be done now because what was being done before wasn't getting you anywhere. The Five of Swords has to do with get back energy, or just kind of watching your surroundings, knowing that something can occur at any moment, only because, you know, it takes one to know one sort of energy. Yeah. So even with this card, I'm feeling like with the forefather foundational energy of, you know, what all they know, like give me, take, control, all of that. They got to know that that's coming back. They got to know that this is get back season. Behind the Five of Swords, we have the Three of Wands reversed. So this is someone who's kind of losing hope here. There's nothing really, expectation-wise, there's nothing, like the funds aren't flowing in, the opportunities aren't flowing in like they used to, the benefits of knowing such and such and being a part of this family and working with this family, you know, all of those connections that were just based on, I'm hearing just superficialism. They can't really, they don't hold any weight like they used to. I'm hearing the crackdown. All right, y'all, I don't know who this is for, but I would just say be safe out there in the grocery store for Karen Rammy with her buggy. Hope this helps.